bird of the day. Where is your bird of the day? So you may be wondering, what bird of the day could I do on this Christmas day? And I bet a lot of you already have an idea of what the bird of the day is going to be today. Well, kind of an obvious choice. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a common pheasant and a grassy... What? It's just a common pheasant. It's supposed to be a partridge in a pear tree? It's first day of Christmas. It's supposed to be a partridge in a pear tree. What the heck is this? What is Corvus doing a common pheasant? That's not a partridge. Twig, you screwed it up. Well, let me tell you. I didn't screw it up. I did not screw it up. So let me tell you something. The pheasant is a partridge. And you're like, what? No, a pheasant's not a partridge. A pheasant's a pheasant. Well, turns out partridge is not really a type of bird. I guess it could be a type of bird in that a partridge refers to any medium-sized wild game bird. So pheasants are partridges. Quails are partridges. Game hens are partridges. Anything that's going to be in the order Galliforms, and usually, guess what? Most of those are partridges. So partridge isn't really a type of bird, but it's hundreds of different species of bird. And all pheasants are considered a type of partridge. So yeah, I figured that we would go with the common partridge today because as you can see, well, what kind of pheasant could be more Christmassy than a common partridge? And by that I mean a common pheasant. Yes, Luna, you are smarter. That's the whole point of Bird of the Day, is to educate all my friends and family and everybody who cares about birds. And so now you know something. When someone says partridge in a pear tree, it could be a quail in a pear tree, it could be a pheasant in a pear tree. And so the common pheasant, I think, is a pretty good Christmassy partridge type because, well, they're red and green. They got their red and green hats. That's Christmas colors. Yay! So yeah, so there we go. This is a species where the males are bigger than the females. So as you can see, the difference is, about a half a pound heavier and, 4 to 35 inches, 4 to 10 inches bigger. Now, interesting thing about the pheasant, he's 35 inches long. Well, most of that's their tail. Pheasants are well known for having some pretty great tails. Those tail feathers, whoo, they're long. The tail is usually more than half their entire body length. So you got let's say you got a 30-inch male. Usually about 18 of that is going to be its tail, and 12 inches is going to be from head to the base of the tail. So yeah, big tail, big pretty tails. They got really pretty tails. Pheasant tails are often used for decoration and stuff. It's very pretty. Then you're going to find their wingspans are 22 to 33 inches. So, pretty good wingspan for what they are. The pheasant in the wild usually only live about 3 years, but, part of that is because, very few pheasants are going to die natural deaths because, well, they got a lot of natural predators. Real big eagles and stuff eat them. They're a favorite dish of wolves and foxes and a lot of other ground-based predators. And, of course, their number one predator by a huge margin is human beings. Because these birds are very popular to hunt. They have tasty meat, and a lot of hunters like to track them down, but also because they're so ground-based, it makes it very easy for them to send the dogs out, and then they fly up, and then boom. Boom. Yeah, you go, gun go boom. Pheasant go down. Dog grab pheasant, bring back. Good doggo. Or bad doggo. Depends on how you see it. So yeah. That is the basic information, so let me tell you a little bit more about these guys. So, another name for the common pheasant is the ringneck pheasant, because you're going to see that males, in particular, usually have kind of a whitish ring goes around their neck. So it's a ringneck. You know, no one ever said that the creators were clever. Not necessarily clever, but it's what it is. And as I was saying before, they're one of the world's most hunted birds. You saw in the thing there is that they're very much worldwide in the northern hemisphere. So very popular for European hunters, Asian hunters, and North American hunters. But interesting thing. So like they are the state bird of the state of South Dakota. Hey, South Dakota, you got that. But here's the interesting thing. They are not native. Males and females, hunted about equally for meat. That's I think the males are more commonly hunted for meat because they got more meat on them. But female pheasant does still have a decent amount of meat on them, so yeah, he'll go for that. But males tend to be a little easier to hunt, and I'll get to that in a second about why. But first, back to... So, pheasants are very common in the United States. But you go back 400 years ago, and there were no pheasants in the United States because they were brought over by European settlers and released into the wild, and then they began to thrive. So, they are very common in the wild in North America now, but they are not a native species. They are not native. Isn't that interesting? And I said they're considered a partridge, but it is actually very rare to see a partridge in a pear tree. At least a pheasant in a pear tree. Because these are birds, they can fly. It's rare to see them fly much more than a mile, though. They're ground birds. And year-round, they like to hang out on the ground. They're not migratory. They do not migrate. They stay in the same place year-round. And so they hang out in the grounds. They build their nests on the ground, and they prefer to do their walking around where they forage for seeds and berries and insects. Omnivores. Not usually going to eat too many animals outside of just insects. They like their bugs. Yeah, bug eaters. I'm sure there's some rare instances where you might have had one eat a mouse or a frog or something like that, but they prefer their insects and their seeds and stuff like that. Of course, being on the ground, that does make them more susceptible to predators like the fox and the wolf, because they're right down there for them. But they can quickly hop up into the air, and usually when they take off, they'll go straight vertically. They just hop up into the air and go right up. It's kind of interesting to see. Now, here's the thing about them. They are not monogamous birds. Usually what happens is you're going to have a male, and he's going to have his nice little group of ladies. And he's a polygamist, so he's going to be like, I'm going to give you babies, and I'm going to give you babies, and I'm going to give you babies. And, so these are the top alpha males going to get a bunch of ladies, up to 6, Might just be a couple, but usually there's going to be a group of females that all hang out together, and there's going to be a few males that are going to be in there, and they're going to get everything. And the rest of the males, they go off, and they lead solitary lives for the most part. They, the males that aren't able to get the ladies, sometimes they kind of pack up. But if you see a pheasant all off on its own, it's usually going to be a male, because the females flock up and hang out together with their pimps. Yes, no, it's not pimp. You know what I mean. They're leader of their harem. And so they end up being a little bit more protected because they're safety in numbers. So the poor males that never get to mate because they're smaller and weaker. Sister wives. Yeah, let's call them sister wives. It's good. Thank you, Luna. Thank you very much, Luna. So, yeah, they're going to be like that. And so, you might see a pheasant all off on his own. So the hunters, they have more success in hunting the poor lone males because they don't have the safety in numbers. More eyes means more chance to spot danger and retreat to safety. When you're on your own, I guess it's not as likely. So, yeah. Because I noticed that when I see hunters hunting, it does always seem to be a male. But, yeah, the females can get hunted, too. You got good hunting strategy. And I'm sure the foxes are pretty good at sneaking up. But, yeah, I guess that's just the way it is in the bird world. Not like crows. But, hey, pheasants, you don't want to mate for life, you don't want to mate for life. That's just up to you. That's up to you. And then as far as intelligence goes, these dumb birds. Hey, he's not the smartest of birds. Galliforms, not the smartest of birds. Kind of closely related to the chicken. They're not too smart. But, I mean, whatever. They're fine. They're nice birds. They don't cause trouble. They're pretty. I like them. You know. So what are my thoughts? Well, I gotta say, I was very interested, like you all, to learn that the pheasant is a type of partridge. And I guess I'm gonna do some more partridges. But, first day of Christmas, gotta do a partridge and a pear tree. And, you would think then over the next few days I would do the two turtle doves, but I did turtle doves back in November. French hens, oh god, I did chickens like back in early September. Calling birds I did a couple weeks ago. 6 geese laying was a few days ago. 7 stones of swimming was a couple weeks ago. So I kind of did a reverse order. But maybe in 12 days I'll do a drumming bird, if that makes any sense. Or a lordly bird. Or a bird species that are ladies who dance. I don't think I can do any birds that are maids of milking because, as we all know, birds do not produce milk. Nor do I think that they are often seen drinking milk from other animals. So I'm sorry. The 12 days of Christmas, not going to really work. But we're done partridge and pear tree on Christmas Day, and that's fine. But thoughts on the partridge, a.k.a. the common pheasant, I would say pretty good bird. Pretty good bird. Nice, solid bird. Not top tier bird, not bottom tier bird. They're nice, they're good, they're pretty. Love those tail feathers. Love that red and green head on the males. Very pretty. So yeah, that's a good bird. That's a real good bird. Okay, so should we hop back? Yeah, we're gonna call this bird of the day completed. Thanks for watching my bird of the day presentation. Oh, and if you're watching this on YouTube, or if, where, you go to my Twitch About page, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube, if you could go to my YouTube page and why don't you give this video a like and a subscribe? That would really make my Christmas day. You want to give Corbett a Christmas present? When this is on YouTube, you give me a like and a subscribe. I appreciate that. And of course, a subscription on Twitch wouldn't hurt too much either. Oh no, am I becoming one of those people just begging for donations? I don't need donations, I just want your chats. I want your chat, say something in the chat. Luna's chatting a lot. Luna's MVP today. Yeah. Alright, back to